are back with another installment of the Please Do Tell podcast. And I'm your homegirl, Ronnika. Welcome back, y'all. So it's October. It's a lot going on this month. And also a lot of birthdays. Every time I log into Facebook, it's another birthday. So just happy birthday to everybody born in the month of October, okay? Or as my best friend says, Octimbre. Oh, I hope I said that correctly. Anywho, so we have Domestic Violence Awareness Month. That's also another reason why I'm wearing purple. And also to this weekend, which once this episode airs, it'll be already in the past. But I can still talk to you about it because I'm in a play this weekend. Oh my gosh, yes, thank you, far too kind. So I'm in a play this weekend. The Vagina Monologues will be at the Ghostlight Theater, and it is sold out both nights. Both nights sold out. So I'm excited about that. It's going to be an all-star cast. There are 12 of us that are going to be on stage. So I am excited. So that's another reason why I'm wearing the purple, which is also turn and pose, okay? And then we have also Breast Cancer Awareness Month. There's so many people in my life that have been impacted by breast cancer. So we'll probably be hearing some of those stories this month as well. If not in a full episode, but definitely online, we'll be sharing those stories. And you all know, if you're new here, I'm gonna give you a little grace. But if you're one of my OGs, like I've been your homegirl for a while, you know that I am the ancestral archivist. And October is National Archives Month. So I have spent I would say the most of my adult life working in the archives, but more importantly, is doing the work to find the missing branches of my tree. And so that's really through stories and historical documents. So I am going to share a story with you today that I have at least 2 guests that you'll hear on this audio. But there was actually 4 of us in the room. It was actually for my mother's 70th birthday present. She really wanted her children to be in the room with her and just share stories. And so that's what we did. And one of those stories was pointed back at me. And it was my siblings talking about when I fell in love with stories. But for them and myself, it started with obituaries. So I'm going to roll out this probably just rare footage. So that's what Archives Month, I feel, in my world is all about, is really telling those untold stories and really wrapping them up in a bow and sharing them with you. So here we go, a sneak peek into my personal archives, story time with my siblings for my mom. Enjoy.
The paper came, dinner time?
Okay, okay, go ahead.
Now, okay, so you got into obituaries. Grandpa John would be eating dinner. After I finished reading the headline news, the front page, then I would leave, and then you would come in and you would read all the obituaries. They were short and sweet. They had a picture, and then you all would have a discussion about who he knew. And that's just, I think that was his way of checking our reading comprehension, but that was our little alone time with Grandpa.
See, and for you, what I remember is I would go out and get the newspaper. And that section, obituary section, was reserved for you. So no one could read it first. And then you would go to the coffee table, get on your knees, and then open up. It was an event. It was a process. You had to take it, unfold it, and spread it out. And then you would read through the obituaries and make commentary. You were very excited when it was accompanied by a picture, but you would still read through it even if it did not have a picture. And it was a process. And if anyone opened up that section of the paper before you and messed up your opening of the crease, you were disappointed and very frustrated. So we got to a point where we knew that we did not touch the obituary section. And you were a very little girl.
Yes.
very little.
Yeah.
And you would want to read through the obituaries.
And you were a young reader.
Yes. It was impressive.
I credit that to Montessori because
Yeah.
you must have picked up on that stuff.
Well, I know I started reading the obituaries because of Miss Clement. She had died. She was my teacher.
That's right. That was your first.
And so I was looking in the newspaper looking for her obituary. And then I remember reading it to Mom, and Mom was just like, "Oh my goodness!" And I said, they were such a good team, her and Miss Morris. And can I go to the funeral? She was like,
I remember that too.
I think I stayed for like 30 minutes. But after that, I can remember I had to read the obituary section. And if it was somebody black, I was all over it.
Oh, you were. And so it was really interesting when I started dating Sonia. And then she'd be over, and then we get to the car as we were going somewhere. And she said, "Is your little sister really read the obituary? Does she do that every day?" I said, "Every day." "Why does she do that?" I said, "She's really into reading obituaries. That's her thing."
Yeah, that was you and Granddad's little time together. That was your time. You set a table, and it was just you two only. And then he would make a comment about where they worked, and don't let them be a church member. Oh goodness, he was really talking about who was gonna do this now and the family, and then he had to go help and
who worked at the funeral home. And I said, they deal with dead people all the time.
Yeah.
And he gives me
That was
candy
your
at
thing.
church.
Yeah. You and obituaries. Fascinating.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, that's how
More importantly, when I moved to Dallas, my whole part of my job was to go and find the advertisements in the newspapers. And then I looked in the newspaper and I saw someone had died. I went to the front office. I said, "Excuse me, how come no one told me Mr. Steele died?" He said, "We thought you knew." I said, "And his funeral already happened?" Mm-hmm. "All right, guys." I said, "His wife is on the board, so no one told me." He said, "First of all, how do you know that?" I said, "I went to the obituary section and read it." It's like, "You read the obituary section of a city that you're not from?" I said, "I read all obituary sections." He said, "Yeah, that's not weird." That's not weird at all, Ronnika.
Did you add that I've been doing that since?
Oh, I did. I said, "I've been doing this all my life."
Yeah.
All
my life. I said, since at least first grade. I've been doing this. But you all didn't tell me that Mr. Steele died, and I needed to talk to him.
How fascinating was that? Yeah, she did.
Mm-hmm.
You read the obituaries as a hobby.
It was a hobby.
It was a hobby.
She would wake up, get dressed, and sometimes she would go get the newspaper like a little old lady.
Right.
She would
I was getting newspaper. You were getting it on your own. When I was around, I didn't move quickly enough.
Yeah. I had to get dressed because Dad didn't play going to the mailbox in our pajamas.
And he didn't like, you couldn't lie around in pajamas. You had to get up and get dressed.
Yeah.
Before noon.
Yeah. You had to get up and get dressed.
Well.
To this day, I get up and get dressed before noon, whether I got to do something or not.
Yeah. No, you got to put some clothes on.
Mm-hmm.
You might need to
Act
do
like
something.
you need
gotta
to.
get ready.
Act like you got stuff to do.
Mm-hmm. Act like you got stuff to do. Yeah. I remember.
The beautiful thing about having older siblings is that I'm able to have priceless moments with my mom, with them. The foundation of this podcast is storytelling. And so you're able to get a glimpse of how I grew up, how I was nurtured, how I was loved, continuously loved. And never a dull moment. You see that my siblings are quite some characters when they even don't try to be. You can hear my mom a little bit in the background laughing, or she's adding, but she absolutely enjoyed having us together to share in story time. So I hope that you enjoyed it too and just learned a little bit about me. Okay. Hopefully, I told my sister that soon. She's going to have to come into the studio and we're going to have to talk about growing up on Main Street and, just the memories. So what's in your personal archives that's my question for you this month is what's in your archives? What do you need to search for? What are you in search of? Because I'm actually in search of a military photo for my dad. So that's the next thing that I'm looking forward to add to my archives. So what's in your archives? What story do you want to share? I'm sure you have some gems as well. So again, thank you for sharing in the story time with me for the month of October. This is National Archives Month, and I am your homegirl, Ronnika, with the Please Do Tell podcast. And we'll see you next time. It's not even April, but this post that I'm going to read you is from April. So we're back. Y'all, I wanted to share two more mini stories with you before we dip out. So this is like a bonus in an episode, but not a bonus episode. Okay. All right, y'all. So I said previously that I was going to be transitioning the stilllens.com blog website to something else. Maybe it'll go into Ronnika.com. Who knows? But I do want to share a couple of stories with you because I used to do Motivational Monday. Ooh, it was for years, every Monday. And now I do the Manicure Monday, as some of you all have been following me and know that I am committed and consistent with doing Manicure Monday. But there is just a few stories that are in my archives, since we're talking about National Archives Month, that I wanted to share with you that I needed to revisit for today. So this first one is Take Care of Home. Don't neglect your dreams. And I wrote this in February of 2017. I struggled with the post for today. It's not that I didn't have anything to talk about. I had a very busy week. So honestly, I have lots to share. I won't keep this post long though. Highlights and lessons learned over the last 7 days. So let's go. Go hard for you. If you can go hard for someone else, you better believe you can go hard for yourself. I realized that after marketing for an event that we had on Saturday, people noticed both near and far. It was a brilliant marketing strategy that engaged the community for free. You can do the same for yourself. Promote yourself daily because people are watching. Shout out to my cousin Daryl Stockton Barvaca because he said the same thing. Promote yourself daily. Number 2, don't subscribe to negative energy. You don't have to entertain those that are constantly negative. They have their own issues. You continue to spread the good vibes with them, but you don't have to receive their toxic behavior. Guard your spirit. Explore your community. There are some amazing things going on in your own backyard. Someone is using their skill to enrich your community that you may be unaware of. I discovered that my local airport is housing one of the fighter planes from World War II. We took about 25 students to view the Red Tails plane that is one of 7 left of the model used by the Tuskegee Airmen. Number 4, write the vision, make it plain. Going back to the basics of writing down all of my dreams and what I want to happen within the next 6 months to a year. Post reminders around my house so I'm constantly reminded of what I want and pray that it's aligned with God's will for my life. Number 5, take action. Pretty self-explanatory, right? Do what you have to do to make things happen. Take the leap of faith and do what's best for your future. You owe it to yourself, your community, and the world to be the best person you can be. Just do it. Don't forget to take care of home. Your dreams are just as important as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Oprah, Denzel Washington, or Taraji P. Henson's visions. They took risk and they didn't neglect their dreams. So much is in store for you and I. Let's get out there and make it happen. And then I will include probably the link to that actual story. And then the last story is one that I wrote on November 27th, 2016. And that was actually towards the end of, I think, the second Still Thankful challenge that I did. And it says, Day 27, purpose, hashtag still thankful challenge. Current time was 3:57 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Your purpose keeps you awake at night. Your purpose requires sacrifice. Your purpose is not about money. Your purpose is larger than you. Your purpose is your gift to the world. The Final 48 Project documentary photography campaign has completely changed my life. I documented the most stories in 2016. The support and willingness to share the stories of African Americans dealing with grief is something I never saw myself doing. It has absolutely changed the way I've looked at so many things, and of course the life that I have around me. The life of those around me. The documentary has evolved in a way that continues to bring awareness to the dynamics of the Black family and its effect on the world as a whole. My purpose? Lord knows I've tried to run from it. I can write, publish, and even travel my life away, but I know that this project is a part of the bigger purpose for my life. I am hashtag still thankful for the sweet voice of my purpose and the midnight hour reminding me to keep going. The world is waiting on my gift. What are you still thankful for? For the past 2 weeks, I have been awake between the hours of 3 and 6 a.m. Even quite recently, the last 2 days, I've been getting up at 5:27 a.m. or 5:45 a.m. with no alarm. And that's because I haven't been paying attention to a lot of the cues that God has been giving me throughout the day. And I feel like he's been speaking to me mostly in that midnight hour. There are some decisions that I have to make in this fourth quarter of 2023 that will, I feel, change my life and the life of a lot of those around me. And, but the time has come that I must take the leap of faith. What does that look like? I will have to share more later. But thank you. Thank you for allowing me to share that story time with you and to be vulnerable with talking about what my purpose is or what it was then and just really reflecting on what it is going forward. So again, this is officially the end of story time for this installment of the Please Do Tell podcast. I'm your homegirl, Ronnika, and it is National Archives Month. I want to know what's in your archives, and I'll see you next time. Or on social media. I'll see you.